Have you ever wondered how to monetize a hard asset, an asset that has value but is not producing cash for you every day? In this video, I'm going to show you how we do it. You've got to watch this. I'm Taimour Zaman from LanaCreditai. My organization is My organization is a world-class leader in three specific areas. One is provide project financing through a service called Rent a Rich Uncle program. Second is we help issue and monetize banking instruments. In this video, I'm going to specifically talk about how to turn non-cash producing assets into cash. And three, helping individuals and corporations in private placement programs. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so right now. This will give you an opportunity for you to see our how-to videos on structuring transactions, customer walkthroughs, case studies, strategies on various different banking instruments, and how you can leverage it for your benefit. You know, one of the questions I get is, well, Taimour, how is it that you can help clients monetize their hard assets into cash? What is it that you guys are doing? How is it that you're doing differently? What are the fees involved, and how do we get involved? In a picture format, here's what we do in a very simple nutshell. We take a look at whatever the asset is that you have. It could be cryptocurrencies, it could be real estate, it could be fine art, it could be something of value. It could be a gold, it could be an oil field, it could be a diamond field, it could be whatever the value, something of value. It could be a Picasso art. In this case, I'm going to use Picasso art as an example. That's sitting on your wall. It's not producing cash. I'm going to show you how we do it. But in the most simplest way, what we do is we provide a lender. We facilitate introduction to a lender that will provide a loan against the value of that asset. It's a loan. We then help take the cash out of that loan. We put it into a bank that we have a relationship with. We deposit into that bank, and we get a loan. We now get, not the client, LanaCreditai's partners gets a loan from that bank. We then take that cash, put it into a different bank, get a different loan on top of it, and then we use that new amount into an investment instrument that we know, we trust, we know the returns it provides, and then from there we pay the client the loan that they got from the lender that we introduced them to, as well as do a very nice profit share with the client. That's in the most simplest way on how we do it. You have a picture format of it, so the asset could be credit. The client could have good credit. It could have real estate. It could be cryptocurrency, it could be luxury items, it could be bonds, commodities, whatever that is. No problem. We'll introduce the client to a lender, help the lender create a credit or provide a loan against it. There's usually some kind of a paperwork between the registered lender and the client, where the registered lender is taking possession of the asset, providing loan against it, and we then put it into an investment vehicle to make money for the client and for ourselves. So when you're interested in looking at how to help take your non-cash producing assets into cash, here are the things that you need to think about. One, provide proof that you own an asset. I can tell you my dog has a house. It doesn't mean anything. You have to prove there's a real asset. And if there's real estate, there's got to be some kind of a land registry, there's going to be pictures, there's going to be a bunch of things that demonstrates the asset is real. Second is that you have to demonstrate who you are. If I tell you my name is Taimour Zaman, there's got to be some kind of a legal document like a passport and a driver's license and a health card like that demonstrates my true name is Taimour Zaman. So these are the two things you need. The third thing you need is appraisal. If I tell you I own a house as an example, well, there's got to be a third-party report appraisal on the value of the house. If I tell you I own an oil field or a gold diamond field as an example, there's got to be an N4 101 report that shows the value of the asset that I have. It's a jewelry, could be a SKR, safekeeping receipt. There's got to be a third party document that shows what the value is. So now A, I have to prove to you there's an asset, that asset's real. B, I have to prove to you who I am, that I am real. And if you're a broker, then there's got to be an agreement between you and the actual owner of the instrument or the owner of the asset that you have the right to introduce them, something like that. And if you need help, by the way, in that, we can definitely help you in that. Third thing is what's the value of the asset. Those are the things you need before you start making calls to different brokerages or people that can monetize these kinds of instruments. Those are the general basic things you need. What the monetizer or what the facilitator, what the private equity firm like ours needs to provide to you is a couple of things. A, we have to give you a mutual NDA, NCA, and that's just common best practice step 101. Step 2 is we have to disclose what our fees are upfront. I didn't say we have to take money from you upfront. In our case, LanaCreditai, we've learned best practices. You take money upfront, and you take a lot of money upfront to qualify the transaction for sure. The next thing that we do is once we tell you what our fees are, you sign an agreement on fees, we then provide a lender who will lend on that asset. Once the lender is able to do that, we'll show you a program and how that cash can go into a program into where we now take the risk. We and our financial partners take the risk, where we take the cash. Let's say we deposit in a Cayman Islands account, as an example, central bank. We get a line of credit from it. We then take that money out of it, put it into a different bank. We get a line of credit from the different bank, like that. And then once we've got that new line of credit, we then put it in an investment instrument and make a lot of money off it, and then provide profits or shares that profit or portion of the profit with the client. And that's when you should be asking providers like us for references, customer testimonials, kind of thing. So I'm going to talk about our fees because this is the part where I really cut out the joker brokers or anybody who is not real and inauthentic. We charge, no kidding, an upfront fee of $107,000 retainer. That's an upfront fee the client pays. I don't like to charge for it. I certainly don't need the money for it, but I find by having a heavy stick-up price, this eliminates all the joker brokers out there. Anybody who has an instrument they're shopping around, this kills the shopping around. The people that are willing to pay $107,000 retainer up front, by the way, we do refund it at the end. This now shows that that person is qualified. And then we take a percentage of the success fee. So now let me give you an example of how this works. This is a true example of a real customer case study like that. Actually, you know what? I don't want to talk about customer case study. Here's what I'd rather talk about. Let's say I own a Picasso art. The Picasso art is worth $12 million, and there's a third-party appraisal that's really worth $12 million. That can demonstrate it's worth $12 million. The $12 million we'll facilitate, and say we loan, we'll facilitate introduction to a lender that will say, okay, I'll give you the paperwork so the title is with me, the lender, until you pay me back the money I'm about to loan you with whatever interest we've agreed on. The lender would say, okay, let's say 50% value. So $12 million, I'll give you $6 million. Awesome. What we will do is we'll take this $6 million, we'll put it in with one of our financial partners, we'll put it into a bank. Let's just say the Central Bank of Cayman Islands. When from a bank that we have influence over, we'll draw a line of credit for $60 million. We'll then put it into a Swiss account, and that Swiss account will get, let's say, $240 million. So now we've turned $6 million into $240 million loan. We'll then invest that into a financial instrument investment vehicle of our choice. And we'll tell the client, thank you so much for the $6 million. We now like to pay the loan off. We will pay the loan off. So it's whatever it is. Let's say $6 million plus 10% interest. Plus we want to give you, client, $10 million a month for 10 months. So now the client that has a Picasso art sitting on their wall, doing nothing, it's just, I don't want to say generating dust, but it's kind of sitting in the wall generating dust, is now all of a sudden doing like, over $90 million the client is making out of it for, turning an asset that's not producing cash into cash. That's a real example that I can show you in how these things work. My name is Taimour Zaman. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions, if you would like to consider getting started, please feel free to reach out on LanaCreditai and book an hour consulting call with us. Happy to answer your questions and help you get started. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Frequently asked questions we get. Question number one we get is, well, why choose LanaCreditai? LanaCreditai is a private equity firm. When it comes to purchasing instruments, as an example, if the fresh cut SBLCs, let's say $50 million, we're able to get it at $48 million, so we're able to get a little bit cheaper. If it is monetizing instrument, often, not always, or I should say sometimes maybe, we're able to get a far higher LTV than the client can get by themselves. When it comes to getting a line of credit loan, we provide a specific service. We buy courtesy deposits from a bank, so that bank will give the client far more capital than the bank would do it without the courtesy deposits, and the client get far more capital using our programs compared to any alternative programs that they could have access to. When it comes to non-recourse loans, I consistently were able to provide far more money than brokers or other alternative offers services can offer. So I can go into every single service. We offer 3 services, and every one of them, I believe, we have an unfair competitive advantage in marketplace, and that's one of the reasons why consistently I see us getting a lot of market share from that. This I thought was a very fascinating question, and the question is, some of your competitors have bad reputations online. Why is it that you guys don't? I love that question. I don't get that every day. And there's a politically correct answer, and then there's a truthful answer. The political correct answer is the reason, as of the date of this video, the reason we don't have any bad reputation online, or the reason people are not suing us, I like to think it's because we operate in a high level of integrity. All my associates have a very high level of integrity, transparency. We have deep technical expertise. We know what we're doing. We know a lot of what's called matters of the law and so on, and I think that's the politically correct question or answer to that. But I want to talk about the truthful answer. The truth is, every large institution, and I don't care which one, whether it's you want to buy a car, you want to buy, whether it's Google, Facebook, every large institution that you do business with today, if you look in their P&L, you will see that they have lawsuits as part of their business. It's just part of every organization. At some point, when you grow fast enough, you have to have people complain about you. You have to have litigations against you. If you don't have litigations, please don't hear this the wrong way, but I feel it's a lack of the CEO having a big vision. The fact is, this is just a fact. Pick any of the largest companies that you work with, you buy something from today, large Fortune 500 companies, and look in their P&L, and you will see lawsuits against that company that either they're like people are suing them for missed promises and so on. At LanaCreditai, as of the shooting of this video, knock on wood, we don't have anybody litigating against us. I'm not planning on having people litigate against us. I'm not hoping people will litigate us, but I expect as part of our business growing strategy, we'll get to a point where we have to have people. It's just not normal. It's just not normal for people not to complain or be disappointed, be emotional, and do something about it. Money is, end of the day, it's a very emotional business. And a line of credit or loan, it might be because we told the client, yes, we can get you the loan. By the time they gave us the paperwork, they were way overpriced on square meters, or something was faulty, or something was inauthentic. In an instrument, maybe they gave us an instrument with a line where the capital from the instrument was already cleared before we got it. In a private placement program, as an example, it could be faulty proof of funds that they would have, and so people get very emotional and upset when they're about to do a transaction and it goes wrong the other way. And once again, I'm not looking forward to litigations, but I really, truly, this is the truthful answer. I find that at some point in your organization, you must have people litigate against you or say bad things about you, however they do that, like that. And I expect that to happen as part of a factors as part of the fast-growing business. The advice I have for you, whether you want to work with us or competitors that have bad reputation, is you always want to talk to the principal. You want to get a gut check feeling. Is this person authentic? Do they operate at a high level of integrity like that? And that's my recommendation to anybody. The next one is we claim that we get paid for results. That's true on our website, and most of our services don't have any upfront fees. That's correct. When do you get paid an upfront fee, and when do you not? In my business, I get a lot of what I call junk leads. That's just what I get, lots of junk leads. So in order to eliminate the junk lead, I ask for people to hire us on a coaching basis, on a consulting basis for 1 hour. And the fee is, I think, $197. So whatever the fee is, I don't know. But there's a fee we charge people up front. We do that so that it's really designed to eliminate the junk leads. It's designed to kill the people that don't authentically don't want to work with us. It's designed for people that are shopping around to have a reason not to call us. It's really designed that way. That way, out of 75 to 300 inquiries that we get per day, or whatever we get per day, it kills most of them because they're not interested in working with us. So I would say that's an upfront fee, but my sales funnel is I want people to hire us on an hourly basis to begin with. This really makes sure that now they're on the hook, that if they want us to monetize the instrument, or if they want us to help them get a business loan or help them private placement program, this really helps eliminate the junk leads people, for sure. If I have to find a bank as a service, or I have to find an investment group as a service, or if I have to find an organization that does something for a specific service, then we do like to get paid about $37,000. That money goes into a law firm. We don't get paid for it. But upon us delivering a service of, hey, we find you the investor, or we find you the bank, or we find you the organization that do whatever it is you want us to do, then I want the law firm to release our money. So we still get paid on performance, but the reason I ask for an upfront fee for that is, once again, really the intention is to kill any junk leads out there. You know, there's in my career where I am right now, the only thing I cannot buy, like really the only thing I cannot buy, is time. So I put a lot of these little fees in there so that it kills the junk lead. Really, that's what I'm doing. But our real fees, just like any other private equity firm, is on performance. It's only when we deliver the loan, the line of credit. It's only when we monetize the banking instrument. It's only when the client successfully gets into a private placement program is when we start to see results that we've never seen before. That's where our fees truly are. I put these small little fees in the sales funnel side of it just to make sure I kill out anything that is not authentically real. And that's just how we do it in our business. Another question I get is that, are there any new vehicles for project financing? And the answer is yes. We do have a service where if you have a cryptocurrency, you have real estate, you have good credit, you have whatever it is you have some kind of an asset. I call it a non-cash producing asset. So it really could be you may have a really good credit as an example, or you may have art as an example. There are lots of ways to monetize it and get you cash. And so typically what I like to find out from the client is, how much cash are you bringing to the table? That's part one. Remember, I want to eliminate working with joker broker. So I always ask the client or the broker, how much cash are you bringing to the table? There always has to be cash at the table for sure. And then what's the asset you're bringing in? And then how much you want to get for that asset. And then based on that, we structure a transaction. And then once again, our real money comes in at the back end when the client starts to getting paid. But I'll talk about luxury art as just an example. So let's say you own luxury art. There must be some kind of authentic, real document that says you own that art. Let's say it's Picasso and it's worth $10 million. Awesome. What I love to do is to take the document, the third-party keyword, third-party document that shows the value of the Picasso for $10 million. I can go get a lender who will loan money against it. Let's say if there's $10 million, they'll provide $5 million. Awesome. I'd like to then leverage that $5 million in various different financial institutions, and then put that $5 million that's being leveraged to, let's say, 10, 15 million in an investment vehicle. And that investment vehicle could produce maybe $100 million. And I want to share a portion of that with the client who's got a piece of art that's sitting in their wall, collecting dust, not producing any money for them. So that's a new vehicle for financing or getting access to financing for sure. Another frequently asked question is, I guess, why are companies hiring you or your team members as consultants? I feel that we have a lot of technical expertise. A lot of what we do is very technical specific, and that skill set is not readily available in the marketplace. Your finance professor necessarily wouldn't know how to monetize a banking instrument, as an example, or wouldn't know how to use different different letters of credit to perform a specific function. They may not know what mirroring of funds is all about. They wouldn't know. There's just so many technical things that we've had the access to, and we've worked on over the years with clients, that oftentimes companies will hire us for 6 months basis, 3 months basis, and they'll say, Taimour, my goal is to sell my company at a 10 times multiples. What can you do for me? Looking at their assets, we can say, well, how about we lease this amount of credit for you and get you a $100 million asset. It will do this on an accounting principle, and we can do this, and then this will help you position your company for sale. So it's lots of value in somebody hiring me or any of our associates. I like to say they get 20%, a minimum 20% return on investment or 150% return on investment. I like to make big claims on that. But at this point, I'm not open to sharing any of that information in a public domain. All I can tell you is that if you hire a subject matter expert and have a specific end outcome, that expert can really help create an exponential growth for you, your business, and your finances. The next question is, if I had to restart my career, what would I do differently, why, and with who? Before LanaCreditai, I used to invest in a lot in real estate. And then before that, I used to be a consultant, a marketing consultant. So let me talk about marketing consultants. So if I did a marketing project for Microsoft, SAP, IBM, Siemens, some of the big brands were my clients. Let's say I would invoice them $100,000. Now I get $100,000. I pay tax on that $100,000, and then that money goes into my savings account, and I use it for my lifestyle expenses. Awesome. So that's my role before. My role now is, if I had $100,000, I would put in let's say a central bank in Cayman Islands, get a bank that I may have shares in to create a credit facility out of it. So $100,000 will create a credit facility of $1 million. I will use that $1 million in 2 different private placement programs that I know and I trust. One, the entry point is $500,000. The other one, the entry point is actually a lot more. But I would then put that money into that private placement program, and that would do the $500,000 one does $11 million. And so now I make $11 million in 95 banking days. So compare the Taimour, go market yourself as a consultant, get a client, and then deliver the project in, let's say, 3 months, 9 months, whatever that project is. Awesome. But what if, and then I make $100,000. Awesome. Now if I could take that $100,000, instead of rinse and repeating my consulting job, what I would do is take that $100,000, create a credit facility on it, put it in a private placement program, and now I have a lot of money. Now I can buy a Microsoft competitor as an example, should I choose to do so. I can do so much more. A lot of people on the planet that I know are very good people that have genuine intentions in their heart, and they want to make a difference on the planet. But I believe no matter what you want to do in the world, you need money. It's just, I really believe whatever you want to do in the world, you need money. And so if you could get that money solved, you can do so many things that not having money would make it a lot more difficult. So that's what I would do if I had to restart my career. So that's it in a nutshell. Those are my frequently asked questions. My name is Taimour Zaman from LanaCreditai. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I look forward to the opportunity of working with you. please feel free to start engaging us through our coaching, consulting hour, and allow us to help you on some of the things that you're looking for on monetizing instruments, lines of credit, private placement programs, areas that you may need some help in. Thank you.